Our podcast, huh?
Okay. Yeah, that was weird. It worked in a weird way. I didn't, but yay, we're here. Okay. Welcome to the Hot Car Podcast. Where's Hammy? He's not here yet. Okay. That's usually the case.
Oh, okay. Is a minute or two behind?
Well, I don't know. He has this, internet affliction that doesn't allow him to, be heard when everybody else usually in the phone calls is perfectly clear.
Yeah, it's the area around here.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There I am.
Hey, look at that. You can actually hear him too. How amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's happened again.
This happened on Tuesday, and we know it was really hot that day. Hot car. Joining us live in the Alert Center.
How long did you last in a hot car?
Facts that the heat index that day was 105 degrees.
Hot car. We don't yet know about a potential third suspect who was seen speeding away from federal agents at the scene. The whole thing had been a mystery to neighbors.
Hot car.
This is not an accident. This is pure negligence.
So, I did this funny thing. It's called the Hot Car Podcast Edgy Interview Edition. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. So, question 1. Have you ever tried to start a new religion based on your favorite snack?
No, I have not.
No?
Oh, wow.
No,
my favorite snack? No.
No? Nothing that moves you that deeply?
The religion of mac and cheese.
See, well, right now, I wonder, the next part of that would be to think hey, is that something that actually anybody ever did? So I'm going to look it up right now.
Did they?
I'm going to look it up. Religion.
There had to be. There's got to be somebody because people come up with crazy ideas all the time.
Okay.
The church of
People
mac
who worship
and cheese.
tofu.
Okay, who invented it? We can look that up. We can find that out. But is there a church? I don't think
The
so.
church of cheese.
Church of cheese.
So
Very possible. It's very possible.
it is possible. So who did invent mac and cheese? Let's see. I mean, you're making your favorite, best macaroni and cheese casserole for the neighborhood potluck, and you don't know the history.
Yeah.
When you bring it
For sure.
over, you're going to want to say this was from so-and-so's, Thomas Jefferson's recipe. Oh no. Check
You
that
would
out.
think
So,
it's Italy.
oh no,
It's a pasta.
it's troublesome. I'm just telling you
Uh-oh.
right now, the history is actually pretty troublesome. So,
It came from Roseburg.
no, no worse.
Oh, shit.
So Thomas Jefferson brought an enslaved James Hemmings, which last name might be familiar, Hemmings. That was the name of his slave wife,
Yeah.
Sally Hemmings.
Mhm.
Okay, so apparently her sibling or brother or somebody, he took this guy James to France to study culinary arts. And so he, financed this tutorial in fine cooking. And he brought a pasta machine back from Naples so that Hemmings could introduce macaroni and cheese to the elite families of the American South. That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still not a religion, though.
No, and also not really and not really troublesome at all. I mean, because, people do take that stuff pretty weirdly seriously about some things. There's that old idea that Nazis built the freeways, which is partially true. Reinforced highways, so that
It's still invention. It's still creation, regardless of what it is.
so that
That's still something
tanks
that's cool.
tanks could go over land and not crush the streets, because you can't drive a tank down a residential street very well. It'll damage the road.
Yeah, because
Right. So that's the whole idea. But we don't freeways suck in a lot of ways, but we're not driving around going, those damn Nazis, they should have never built this.
Right.
Right. Same with macaroni and cheese. I think you can ethically still eat macaroni and cheese, even though it has suspicious origins and slaves involved. Right.
They should look at the ingredients more than who made it these days.
True. So, there you go. It may not even be true. That's the other part.
That's very true, because, there's lots of
If you got it on the
misinformation out
internet,
there.
it must be true.
Well, I should point out where this came from, I guess, so I don't want to be accused of like some kind of, plagiarist, which is another like huge topic these days, online. People stealing other people's, stuff. It's like widespread.
Widespread, he said.
Well, so this
I
came
think people should be able to talk about something. Even if you're verbatim, saying something verbatim that somebody else had written or something like that, you're sharing the idea, the thought is something that brought into your mind. And don't take necessarily credit for it yourself, but, because you obviously didn't come up originally, but still being able to share information and stuff like that I don't think people should get too caught up on, it's plagiarism.
Right. This came from, Epicurious, online magazine, the food magazine, the high-end food magazine.
Yes, for the eclectic palate.
That's right. Well, no, the plagiarism stuff was more along the lines of lifting word for word other people's work and reciting it as your own thoughts.
And saying that it's yours, yes.
And never saying otherwise. Or even,
I don't agree with that.
Or even changing a few things around, and saying it's yours, or changing a few words here and there, or, and then getting caught and trying to fix it and just doing the same thing over again in a different way. Yeah. There was a big YouTube, video about it, like 4-hour long video about all of these YouTube, plagiarists and, how they were stealing these smaller people's, information and profiting from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big deal when they're making a bunch of money because they're getting like 1 million views on this other guy's information.
Yeah, like content creating, making
or with somebody's face.
Yeah, true.
Right.
That happens a lot.
They can be using somebody's face all this time and making money. That person's face they've been using should be getting paid.
Well,
that's true. If you're making money off of it, yeah,
you really
at
is.
least some sort of something from it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's music or just somebody doing art and taking a picture. If your face is in there and they're making money on that, you should get your royalties.
Sure,
I wish somebody gave me my profits because I've been exploited across the board. So where's my profits, man?
Well,
but does Pornhub count?
No, not just Pornhub, dude. It's been it's like a ongoing thing, dude. I know I got people my ex-husband fucking paid people to stalk me and shit. So
no, that's Cornhub with a C.
Cornhub.
Oh, Cornhub. That's right.
Cornhub.
Yeah.
It's all.
What the hell?
It's all corn dogs and I don't know what else. Corn dogs is something else. I'm not sure.
French guys.
It's got to be cotton candy.
Corn dogs and cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
Yeah, because cotton candy goes with everything.
Oh,
absolutely.
Man. We know this for sure, for certain. Like we are, I don't often brag, but I think we are, cotton candy experts.
Yeah.
We can turn sugar into gasoline.
That's right.
Or diesel.
Right.
On the spot.
So we like go up to somebody and say, hey man, we're about to put some sugar in the gas tank. And they're all, no, sir, don't do that. We're like, watch this. And then it happens. You just have to turn the sugar into actual gasoline, which is kind of it's alchemy.
Yeah.
In fact,
people starting to start doing more stuff like that, doing more moonshine things going and stuff, because when the world does tank, and it's going to happen at some point, you're gonna they're not going to be able to go get gasoline. Better know how to make moonshine.
Right.
That's the way it is with cotton candy. You can't just get it anywhere.
That's right. In fact, that's the name of our cotton candy company, Alchemy Cotton Candy.
Nice.
It kept us on the road.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool. You could just stop off, in your rig and set up your little cotton candy machine with a generator, and people will stop, and within a few hours, you got a few $100 and you're back.
Nice.
Correct. And it's like Montana. They doubled. They were paying us double what we get in Oregon.
They wouldn't even buy the small bags. Like we had $5 bags and bigger $10 bags that we thought, this isn't going to work. Let's try it anyway. Cause we did some, red, white and blue cotton candy. It was, 4th of July weekend. So we're like, well, we'll take that risk. We'll make some cool red, white and blue big bags And those sold out immediately. And we're like, well, let's just do single color big bags. And it was on. Like we couldn't keep up. We had to recruit other people to come help us make cotton candy.
We got pictures of it.
Yeah, it's wild. We had to shut it down. Like we had to say, okay, that's enough, and tell people to go home. Yeah,
some dang good cotton candy.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens this next coming summer.
We'll see what happens. It's the landscape has changed a little bit. A little bit. New opportunities and all kinds of a lot of interesting little doors that apparently have closed. Those doors are so small they're even hard to get through. You know, we have bigger doors opening up, which is really exciting. Question
it's
2.
Like telling a crippled guy, well, you ain't gonna play no more. Well, motherfucker, he's crippled. How's he gonna play anyway? He just switches moves.
Yeah.
He's got the technique. That's right.
Technique. It's all about technique.
Correct.
It really is, and not about image. It's about what you're producing. People need to remember that too. You know, no one cares what. No one cares about your sad sack story or whatever. They want to know what's happening now.
Yeah.
That's right.
In the present moment. What's going on?
So here's question 2. Speaking of present moment, if you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's a good one.
I think so.
Do it with?
Excuse me?
Did you say do it with?
No.
Dinner with. I mean, I don't know what you're doing after dinner. I mean, what is this okay. If you could have any Netflix and chill with any historical figure, who would it be and why? See, that opens it up a little bit more into maybe even some scandalous territory.
Oh man.
A Netflix and chill with any historical figure. I mean, wow.
I guess it's George Washington because it has to be.
Wait.
I would say Nikola Tesla.
Netflix and chill with Nikola Tesla?
Yeah.
That's pretty hot. Pretty hot, lady. So Hammy's going with George Washington?
I'm going with George Washington.
I didn't know you were down with the wooden teeth, man.
Oh, that's okay. I don't have any either.
It's going to be a fun night.
Hell yeah, we're smoking. It don't matter.
That's true. Didn't he cultivate cannabis?
I think
Is that a myth?
Yes.
Is that a myth? Let's check it out.
No,
it's not a myth. And then he smoked it before he crossed the Delaware.
Well, I bet he did.
It was so good. He said, you know what? Let's get in this ice water and cross it.
Wasn't until the 1920s, hemp was the number one producing for cannabis and stuff, and the United States was the number one producer of hemp.
Do you know?
Yeah, for rope, everything back then.
Really, you can. I mean, emperor has no clothes. You could. I mean, hemp can save the world.
That's one of the biggest mistakes from the very inception of cannabis legalization was not covering industrial hemp because it's so crazy in so many cases. And I don't know state by state because it's a totally different area. I think Kentucky legalized hemp several years ago, and it's been it's made a big impact or small impact for, a number of people growing it. It's much more profitable than, psychoactive, cannabis.
Yeah,
by far, because
to really get back into the hemp production just across the board.
Because you can grow it literally, as far as I'm concerned. You can grow it literally anywhere. It will grow anywhere.
Yeah.
There should be reforestation with hemp in a lot of cases.
Absolutely.
Have these giant hemp forests, basically, that's just free energy, free money, free building materials. With
all the radiation around, they're one of the best plants for filtering radiation.
That too. It's amazing. But we're so backwards still on it.
Well, it's about control. It's about control. You can't have, you don't want to maybe having like free energy and things are going to be easy, It's about,
Oh, I'm sure that the building materials industry is like dead set against it. Like,
dude, hempcrete is something that's like super strong. Like there's like an ancient old like bridge they found in China and stuff that was thousands of years old or something. I think it was that old, and it was still as strong as it was still perfectly intact.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Or the what they did with concrete back in Greece, where it's still, that stuff's still standing. It doesn't crack.
Yeah,
it's incredible because they add. I forget what element they added to it. What did they add to concrete?
I know regular concrete like lime and
was it? But they discovered a natural material that developed hydraulic properties when mixed with lime. Yes. The Romans, did it better though. It was, much more, sturdy and, and also like flexible, because the atoms and the added element created more of a grid-like structure within the atomic structure of the concrete, which is, in today's concrete, that's much more, I guess, random, not as symmetrical.
It's not cohesive to the terrain.
Right, not as symmetrical within the structure. It's pretty interesting, but it's very expensive. That's why we don't do it. To build like that would be like extremely expensive. I
wonder how that compares to that 3D printing they're doing now with the cement.
Yeah, it's weird. I was wondering about 3D printing and why seemingly it hasn't really taken off like we kind of thought it would.
Because you got to have, the programming itself. You can't just get on a laptop and say, I want to make this, and boom, it's done.
Right.
You have to know the programming for it.
The schematics for it, like different measurements, things, and stuff like that.
You can buy those.
Wow, Cindy's just walking back to the van, and it's like she got snacks for 5 people, and it's only me and her.
See, there it is. Maybe she's starting the religion.
Maybe that's what it is right there.
Okay, bow down.
Pastries, chocolate milk, burritos.
Wow, it sounds good. When is church? We're going.
Yeah, church of snacks.
I like it.
Me and Snacky.
Hey, a special guest, Cindy.
Yeah, he just came in.
So yeah, I don't know. It goes back and forth about marijuana and George Washington. Definitely hemp and rope. Absolutely. Hammy, you know about that kind of stuff. Hemp rope.
Yeah, hemp rope. Yeah, they're still making hemp rope.
Yeah.
Back in the, I guess you call them third world countries or whatever.
Hey, I got Jesus shoes made out of hemp.
Jesus shoes?
Yeah, my hemp sandals.
Well, what did Jesus shoes?
So
it's made out of rope.
So interesting. It's saying that originally hemp was imported from England to the U.S. because they were growing it there. Very important in British colonies, and it was because of the rope. That was like their main thing that they were doing with hemp is making really strong rope for their ships.
Oh, and also canvas and sails and stuff like that made from hemp.
Right.
Maybe that's where the term "good dope," with good rope.
Fishing.
Good dope rope.
And the THC came in and became good dope.
Fishing nets.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All sorts of things. There's so many things that you can make with it. Clothes,
But apparently, according to this article on thevintagenews.com, George Washington was not growing the strains of hemp that we would recognize as marijuana today. The THC content was probably very low.
Yes, because they were using it for hemp protection and making things, not just smoking.
But the THC was still there.
Less than 0.3%, according to this information.
That would be like more hemp side of it, more production, produce, and being able to, make things out of it instead of smoking it.
It's diet weed.
Right. But the thing is like, I would assume that it was probably blended into like a spliff type of situation with tobacco, because even at that low, psychoactive level,
yes,
it would definitely calm you down.
Yeah, give you a head change.
Oh yeah, I'm sure people enjoyed that quite a bit because that would have been the standard at the time, right? Like that would have been as high as you could get with this stuff at the time. So that would be the basis for comparison. You couldn't like you would just like some old like colonist would just keel over if you like gave him a dab, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know, well, and then
you're not supposed to be smoking marijuana, and you're not supposed to be doing anything like any sort of thing to head change yourself all day, every day. I mean, really, you think about like when the Indians and people went off on their spirit journeys and stuff, and they got all high. They only did those things on occasion. It wasn't they weren't smoking weed every single day. I don't think, anyways, because it was usually used for ritual things. Right.
Wait, who's the one actor guy who always says that he does smoke weed every day and a lot of it?
There's probably many of them do.
Yeah, who is that? In what movie?
Cindy says he's got curly hair.
That's right. It's not. What's his name? It's not. Not is it Seth Rogen? Yes, I think so.
I could see that.
Yeah, no, because he has it is, of course. Ding, ding, ding. Because he has his own weed company too now. It's called Houseplant, I think.
Nice.
Well, I need to smoke with Seth.
Well, in these last few interviews I've seen, just pop up with him, little clips or whatever. He's been talking about how, he smokes all day, every day, pretty much constantly.
I used to do that.
Well, there are those among us. I'll just say that.
Yes.
What a life.
What a life, right? And then he's, hey, stoner dude, want to be in a movie? He's like, okay. Like, I mean, it's amazing.
Are they serving food?
So he was writing for Borat and the Ali G show. That's how he got started. Mr. Seth Rogen, just high, writing for Ali G.
Hey, some of the best ideas happen when you're in a different place mentally.
Well, can you imagine that, like Sacha Baron Cohen is like, okay, I want you to write material for me. So go in this room. Here's your bong. Here's your weed. Here's your pad of paper and pen. Let's go. And what do you write? So he would interview, like famous people and clown them, So imagine having to write out like these questions for these people, like, the prime minister or something, or a senator.
Right.
Amazing. How fun. That's just so fun. Like, it's so much fun to clown. It's so much fun to clown powerful people.
Yeah.
I think there's too much punching down, in fact. Like, I think that, maybe that's when things become not so funny, when the jokes are about people, less fortunate or less capable or less.
I do my best not to try to really punch jokes at too many people at all, just because, I've been the butt of so many jokes and it is an energy thing, you put energy off into somebody else or any sort of, derogatory thing, and it seeps off of you.
Well, not necessarily derogatory. I mean, you know what I mean, but like,
I know.
But even,
I understand.
But even better, like, cause in that instance, it sounds more like someone was like making fun of you, or something along those lines, which is like, clearly.
There's times when people do need to be put in their place and be like, no, you are looking at something in a way that is this, like, it's flawed and really, you shouldn't look at it that way.
or someone does something that's genuinely funny. I mean, we all, comedy is a real thing,
It does happen. I got a bit of a dark sense of humor myself, but.
Don't start being like, oh, well, I don't know about funny. I mean,
no, because that's funny. There are some things that are really funny, yeah.
Hey, let's see. Inappropriately funny.
Depends on your company.
So did we ever get to, we never even got to our dinner. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't say my dinner guest.
We haven't got to the third question.
No, because I haven't even said who I would want for dinner or Netflix and chill.
Who the fuck cares what you think?
That's true.
I care what you think. I care what you think. That's why I'm here.
So, maybe like, I don't know, JFK, but just for dinner and I'm not going to chill with him.
Not gonna chill with them?
Well, not like that.
That'd be like going to the island.
It's terrible.
It's like head explosion.
Yeah.
So maybe we talk to him about strategies for avoiding historical calamities. Or maybe you accidentally ever change the course of history. I don't know.
I think that's very possible.
Table manners for time travelers.
That's good. Because there's certain things. You're a time traveler and you're a watcher, and really, you're not supposed to mess with the fabric of time, because then you can change. You're supposed to it's gonna, take all existence away.
That's right. That's right. What if Marilyn Monroe was your dream date and she lived?
Yeah, exactly.
Then what?
Well, that's a whole different. There's so many different dimensions that your mind can go off of, and I think any thought that you have actually could be part of another dimension that you're experiencing in a different realm.
Right.
Why is there no hash and hash browns?
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, I ordered them a lot. I've never found no hash in mine.
Is that a double hash brown?
This is because you haven't made it that way. Come on, you gotta be creative. Be a concoctionist. Make some hash browns.
Double hash brownies?
Yeah, but it seems like false advertising. It says on the menu, even McDonald's hash browns don't have hash in them.
But there's two of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Double hash brown.
Well, isn't hash browns actually a style instead of an actual, an ingredient?
You hash it and then you brown it.
Yeah. It's like if you had French fries, they're French fries, Julian.
That's right. Why is it, what's the French in the French fry? I don't understand that.
I think the French from the French fry just came because it was something started in France.
Did it?
I don't know. That's my assumption. I actually have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Did French fries start in France? Belgium. What?
Belgium.
That's you can't call them Belge fries.
Because they were made for the French, right? It was some sort of culinary thing that they brought to the
They were invented by
the guy needed to cook something fast, and he made them that way, shoestring, and got them out there real quick, and then the person liked them.
Okay, I think I got it. So it was poor villagers in this little valley, in 1775 or something like that. And they would fry fish, and then they threw in some potatoes and were like, hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty much it. It's not really like an invention. It's just someone cooking some potatoes that someone cut into little strips along with the fish.
They called them French.
And then they called them French because the French were like, hey, you know what? We're taking that. It was some guy smoking the hemp with a knife and a potato just going, making strips. Oh, hold on. We have a dilemma here. Spain is claiming their patatas. That's right. Patatas. Their irregularly cut home-style fries may be the oldest version. So they might be kind of like the Spanish flu was started in Kansas.
Yeah.
Maybe French fries were started in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
What about the bubonic plague? Where's that started?
The what?
Bubonic plague. I'm sorry, I just jumped off to something completely different.
No, I think that popped up a bunch of times all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. That was not really centered in one. Europe. That was Europe. Yeah. Several times. It's all those laughing rats in the street.
Oh yes.
That's weird, isn't it?
Dude, the rats around here are getting pretty bad, dude. I mean, the mice are as big as rats, and the rats are as big as the cats.
Do they laugh? Two-legged
or four-legged?
Four-legged. And two.
Dolphins and rats laugh.
They do.
What? That's interesting. It's true that biologically they both laugh. You can tickle a rat and it'll laugh.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
They
Learn
laugh.
something new every day.
And they chatter and laugh at stuff. I don't know, but you're like, what would be funny?
Well, they do communicate and talk pretty well. They talk back and forth, man. I've been in some places that, the rats were going around rat wars and they were fighting back and forth and all sorts of shit.
Oh, I remember I'm waiting for a bus one night in LA, kind of bus terminal area, and there was a big planter with little bushes in it and these giant rats like running in between and like running into each other and like having little like conversations and running back the other way and like darting all over the place and like jumping and like just like, what are you guys doing? It was pretty spooky actually. I didn't want to, you know, it's like, okay.
Well, with the rats, they eat the roaches. If you got roaches, the rats will eat the roaches.
Well, who's going to eat the rats?
The cats eat the rats. And actually, cats populate pretty quickly. So in the world situation, you just eat your cats because they do populate pretty quick and they keep the rats down. So
that is true. I haven't seen any rats lately. That's true. But there was a mouse in our house recently, and the cats, the two cats we have were of no use. Mm-hmm. They would stare underneath like the stove, kind of probably where the mouse was hanging out, just, you know, and just hang out and stare and then leave. And then you hear like, oh, later on, oh, there's the mouse back there. And the cat wouldn't care. Yeah. Worthless.
Yeah. Well, that's when cats get used to being fed. I mean, if you have barn cats, outside cats, stuff, they'll hunt them.
That's true. Okay. Question 3. If you could swap lives with an inanimate object for one day, what would it be and why?
A quartz crystal.
Ooh, that's cool. So, what's that about?
That's energy that's being full on, like being in it. You know, it's an inanimate object. It is still something that is alive.
So, like, you understand. I do not understand like crystal technology and that kind of thing. So, can you explain it?
Energy amplifiers.
Yeah. So they hold a charge of some kind.
Actually, they hold, I believe, information, different frequency vibrations. Because if you think about, you know, like the crystals like, you know, crystal diode machines and stuff, and then things you can do crystal resonance machines that actually changes the frequencies of different, you know, you can change your own, any frequencies. You can change your own DNA with frequencies. But through like crystals, rocks, and stuff like that, I believe that there are energy amplifiers in many things. And so the crystal itself, you know, it's still, my energy would still be within it, but still be, I could go anywhere.
Right.
So I wouldn't really be inanimate, but it is considered an inanimate object.
Right. So now I'm remembering back when I was a kid, and I just pulled up an introduction to quartz crystal oscillators. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was a kid, I had a crystal radio set, where you hook up like a roach clip type thing to like a chain link fence as your antenna, and you can pick up, you know, fairly decent radio signals. It's incredible. Like, I never really like understood like exactly. I'm not Hammy's more the electrical guy.
Yeah, you know why they call them roach clips, right?
Why?
Right.
Because potholders was already taken.
True. Right, and I'm saying like, oh, Hammy understands.
Yeah,
like,
you could take them crystals, the old CBs and all that. Mm-hmm. You just change the crystals in them, and you can turn a CB into a scanner. A police scanner.
So
I'm looking more at like vibrational frequency of different tones and sounds, and the effect that it has on your structure of your entire being.
Right. So there's this like frequency stability that crystals have.
Yeah. Because look how much we love music. Music changes your entire tone. Like, you know, and if you pay attention, if you really, you know, take the conscious effort of deciding what type of music you want to listen to, you can change your entire being.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. That's part of the reason why I love doing this weekly Saturday radio show out of Eugene. I wanted to give them a shout out. They're really trying to push their like social media presence and expanding into more than just a radio station. They want to become more involved in like the Eugene Springfield community as a whole, which is pretty cool. And so we're totally on board for that. It's KHLE, Hysterical Light Eugene. It's right now it's 24/7 local radio. So I'm still seeking out mainly Eugene and Springfield musicians. We can expand the area a little bit, maybe out into we're gonna like kind of regional, maybe north, as far north Salem, and maybe as far south as like Grants Pass, Medford, But we really want to concentrate on like Eugene and Springfield, because there's also a connection with the Eugene hostel in the Whitaker neighborhood, where this whole station was kind of like launched from the owner of that place, which you just found out, which is pretty interesting because they have some really cool vibes coming out of there. Like I got to stay there for a week when I came back up to Oregon. It's a very cool place.
Cool.
Yeah. Music, I'm always looking for, curators to help me, program the weekly show.
Absolutely. It's important work.
It's from noon to 4 every Saturday, Pacific time. 2 separate 2-hour shows. I have a DJ mix set from noon to 2 that, may change a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to maybe add some interviews into that, or other things, other musicians, like, and have that be more of like a kind of almost a podcast type situation with music. And then the 2 to 4 section is to highlight really excellent local, music on the radio. I think they're going to be able to get a lot of, really good backers, like financial backers. And I want to see this stuff being played like all over businesses, all over that region. 'Cause why not?
Yeah, why not?
It's great. We give local, shout outs to, great, small businesses and connect that way. Radio is definitely not dead. Television is certainly on the way out, but I think audio broadcasting is, here to stay.
I think so. And it should be.
AI can't do this.
No.
That's important. AI can't paint you a canvas or have a real conversation.
Right.
No. There's too much nuance and intricacies that...
That's why it's important to be unique and be yourself and be who you are, because, for being really genuine and who you are stuff, it can't be replicated. The spontaneity, being able to change your mind at any given moment and will is like huge for humanity. They don't even see it.
Right. And what's interesting and funny about some of this stuff is that, some of these funny questions were generated, with Chat GPT. Because it is an interesting, useful tool. It really can be, but you have to understand how to like kind of operate the machinery in the right way. Because it will make all kinds of dumb mistakes and repeat stuff and have, really clunky, responses and get stuff wrong and like hallucinate, just make stuff up.
Weird.
It is pretty weird. Like, but generally speaking, you can get some kind of interesting, ideas like let's find another good question here. Time travel shenanigans. We kind of already went through that a little bit. Butterfly effect.
Mm-hmm. Butterfly effect is very important.
The classic butterfly effect, maybe you accidentally create a world where everyone wears hats made of cheese. It could happen.
Cheese it could happen because nothing is impossible, only improbable.
Or the idea of, if something like, if you engineer like a butterfly effect situation,
mm-hmm.
and then you mess things up, then maybe you have to get like a time traveling etiquette handbook. Perhaps?
Well, because you never really know what the butterfly effect is how far it's going to go and how it affects everything. That's the whole part of it, because it can go off on so many different variants and,
Right. Like, what if you met a historical figure and you like said something that like on some weird, like modern theory, like you told a Neanderthal, like what, like quantum physics was. Like, like that could be terrible. Like,
absolutely.
The Neanderthal could like perhaps at that point figure out how to like make an atomic bomb and blow us up like eons ago.
Exactly.
And then what?
Yeah. I'm just grateful to be here in this point of my evolution.
Right. Like, because what if we are time travelers from the future or something? We just don't know it.
Absolutely. I think that's very, very, very possible, probable, and we just have to figure out how to utilize our tools that we have within ourselves to be able to access your pineal gland on a whim and be able to go any place, any dimension, any time as you choose. But to not be able to... pineal
gland!
Yes, of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. That's what Hammy's for. He she comes in with the hot takes. The penal, the penal
what
gland.
What the fuck is penal gland?
Your pineal gland. Yes, your pineal gland is it is your third eye, actually. In ancient times when they would dissect bodies and stuff, and your pineal gland used to be the size of your regular eyeballs. But now, because of everything else that comes into your foods and chemicals and stuff, your pineal gland is shrunk down to the size of a pea in most cases, and so you have to learn how to grow that back.
You have to grow back.
That happens depending on how cold it is.
You have to grow back your third eye.
Yes, absolutely.
That's right. So the problem could be, though, what if we are time travelers from the future and we're fucking up on major historical events now? Well,
that's just part of the way things go, because we have the ability to make our choices to choose in any which direction as we choose. And so therefore it goes on to infinite possibilities. So it's not anything that I think that whatever happens does happen because that's supposed to happen. If it wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't have fucking happened.
What if you went back with a gun and made Shakespeare ghostwrite for you? Said, put my name on this.
Well, I wouldn't do that. That's not something I would do.
And then you come back, then you come back and your name's all over the place. You're like, oh yeah, I wrote all that. No, you didn't. You did not write all that.
You did not. No, I don't know.
No, but what I have
not something
heard,
I've ever contemplated before, I have to say.
Speaking of new artists who just kind of seemingly come out of nowhere. John Phillips. I've heard good stuff about this guy.
Yeah, I've heard a few things, not much.
I haven't heard about him yet.
Heard from you.
I don't know. He's some people are like, oh, he's like an industry plant, that kind of thing where, how people just come out of nowhere. The whole, I don't know if you were caught up at all on the whole, Kevin Hart thing where suddenly, the guy couldn't, book a nightclub and suddenly he's in, a movie. How did that happen? Same time. I don't know. How does that happen? Don't you wonder?
How does that happen? I think, I don't know, I guess the people looking at people and seeing them in the right light.
Right. It's no, it was no scandal. It's just the guy got himself in front of the right person.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That seems more legitimate than thinking that people are,
some sort of sinister thing.
Where you're gonna I'm gonna elevate this person just because, or there's some weird down low nut.
Well, there's always some sort of weird something applied to most anything when you become a big person anyways. And there's always somebody behind the scenes that has their own agendas and what they want to do. But the whole thing is that, it's how people perceive it, and they want to see it sinister. If not, you look at it as an opportunity and as something that was, given to that person and be happy for me.
Right. It all comes down to, it's all just speculation because we have no idea.
Yeah.
People can say whatever they want. And, we've all experienced that where someone says, oh, I think this and that and the other thing about somebody. And you're like, well, that is obviously not true. Yeah, cause I was with that person and none of that happened.
Exactly, right.
But then the person's like, well, what do I do about it? And nothing. Just let that person cook. Let them say whatever.
Yep, exactly.
They're going to say whatever they want. And there's really nothing you can do about it. If you try to
if they don't have the balls to come to you and talk to you about it in the first place, they can fucking shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter.
If you try to challenge some of the stuff and get, defensive about it, that isn't a really good look sometimes.
Yeah. If you really want to know, simply ask. seriously.
Right.
And if somebody feels like they want to open up to you, and you may not have access to that. So, it doesn't matter if you know it or not, and it is speculation.
Exactly. Here's a question. Can you win a debate against AI using only sarcastic remarks? So, want to try an AI debate?
Sarcastic remark. I'm terrible at being sarcastic,
okay,
really.
So what's the topic of the debate? Okay, I'm going to type in let's debate. Okay. Sure, I'm up for a debate. What topic would you like to discuss? Okay, we need a Hammy, what topic?
Oh shit.
Anything. It has to be controversial.
Yeah. Abortion.
Oh, they might not like that. I mean, I don't know if we can try it, but I don't know if,
Let's see, controversial.
Okay, I typed in abortion. Okay. Abortion is a complex and sensitive topic that involves ethical, moral, and legal considerations. Okay. So, could you please specify your stance or perspective on abortion, and we can explore the different aspects of the debate. Okay, so now we need a sarcastic remark, like how to start it off.
Stop abortion. Don't have sex.
Oh, okay. Perfect. I mean, that's a legitimate point of view, but it is pretty sarcastic.
If people quit fucking so much, if people quit getting pregnant, they don't have to worry about abortion.
Right, here we go. Okay. Wow. It seems like you're expressing the perspective that avoiding abortion is possible by refraining from having sex. This viewpoint aligns with abstinence-based approaches involving the prevention of unwanted pregnancies through abstaining from sexual activity.
No, they're talking about being virgin stuff. Those things.
Right.
We've already confused it.
I mean, not staying a virgin. No. Virgin, but not having sex. Okay.
And your next one would be like, not having sex before marriage. Why do most people take relationships now? It's like a new car. You got to test drive it first.
Okay. Why do we take relationships like a new car? Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. We're getting down to it now. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. So so there's some points ChatGPT wants to make about comparing relationships to a new car. So point one is careful selection, right?
Absolutely.
Investment and maintenance.
Yeah.
The initial excitement and the long-term commitment.
Right.
There you go. That sounds like that sounds good and also slightly sarcastic.
Yes, it does.
I mean, you're comparing your loved one to a car that you need to put investment and maintenance into, which is true. And the initial excitement.
Uh-huh.
Yes. It's pretty good.
Women do change their oil once a month.
Women do change. Okay. That's a very sarcastic remark.
Yes.
All right. We're going to see what we get. I think at a certain point, we may have ChatGPT say, well, that's a bit too far.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the point. And I think if we can get there, that's where we're going to close out the show for today.
All right.
I think, you can, once a month. That's really sarcastic. That's pretty bad. Okay, let's go. Inappropriate. Let's go. Oh, it seems like there might be a misunderstanding or a metaphorical expression in your statement. Typically, cars don't require an oil change every month. The frequency of an oil change depends on various factors, such as the type of oil used. So I didn't understand kind of what you meant. So we need to, no, I mean actual women. Okay. I see.
Yeah, it's totally going to confuse it.
Oh, well, I see. ChatGPT says, I see. It appears there might be a mix-up in the analogy. If you're referring to the idea that some women undergo changes or take certain actions on a regular basis, similar to the regular maintenance of a car, it's essential to approach such comparisons with care.
You do have to approach them with care once a month.
Yes, they are very different.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, that is correct. Approach. I think ChatGPT is getting closer to understanding what we mean and is not really that happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that approach. That is correct approach with women once a month. Careful. Oh, okay, okay. It seems like you might be alluding to a stereotype or a generalization about women and their behavior once a month. It's crucial to approach discussions about gender with sensitivity and avoid perpetuating stereotypes. Well, that's true.
I'm glad my mama didn't raise no bitch.
Men don't.
Right?
Men don't have to use the same accessories once a month. So there. Okay. Now, okay. Listen, folks. We're going to close out the show today because it's important to understand that menstruation is a natural and normal part of many women's lives.
Yes,
And it's not appropriate to make assumptions or generalizations based on this biological aspect. Women, like men, have diverse preferences, experiences, and behaviors that go beyond any stereotypical notions, like getting your red wings the first time out. That happened.
And that's a show right there.
That was good.
No, that's a true. That happened to me when I was 17.
I believe it.
30-year-old nurse.
I thought we were ending the show.
My friend, this is the intro.
It's happened again.
This happened on Tuesday, and we know it was really hot that day. Hot car. Joining us live in the Alert Center.
How long did you last in a hot car?
Facts that the heat index that day was 105 degrees.
Hot car. We don't yet know about a potential third suspect who was seen speeding away from federal agents at the scene. The whole thing had been a mystery to neighbors.
Hot car.
This is not an accident. This is pure negligence.